pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consider for approval minutes in the agenda.
Make that a motion.
I'll second.
Motion from Stenzer and a second from Jensvold. Approve the minutes and agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 9 a.m. Discussion regarding a contract with Kirk McCumber.
It's the same thing.
For a structural engineer for the east entrance portion of the courthouse stone replacement and tuck pointing project.
I have to. I think the who's doing the work is probably knows what he's doing anyway.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you just gotta spend a bunch of money to do what you're gonna do anyway.
Well, for the people I've talked to, it's fixable, so.
What's the total?
4,000. Seems like.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Got a motion from Stenzer and a second from Jensvold to approve the contract with Kirk McCumber from Raker Roads, structural engineer, for the work on the east entrance portion of the courthouse, stone replacement. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need to be stamped.
No, just signatures, please.
Okay.
While we're on that, you said that if you found something to do the heads.
Yeah, I've got some guy that's a member of the Historical Society here in town. He's from Alberta. He either has resources or he may be able to live with it himself.
Okay.
Let me get a picture of it. Take a picture of the Historical Society, when they would like to salvage the heads that are there.
That's what I talked to Dave about, and that we would give them to the Historical Society if they don't fall apart when we take them out. Two of them are okay. The third one might be a little.
Just last Thursday. Wednesday. Brad Kirshner. Tell you the truth, I'm not real sure. I talked to Donna Rusty from the Historical Society. She's at our Windward Festival chief, and the evaluation name. And she said this guy has done things like, or been involved in things like this. So,
Did you want me to call him?
yeah, I think if you could just find out what you can offer us. If you have any resources that we don't have.
Dave found the guy in Minneapolis, and it's probably gonna be, before Dave adds his cost, like going to get it, and going to get the stone, taking it up there, bringing it back, it's $5,000 a face. So, the other thing that Dave wanted me to tell you guys was, the west side of the building is, except for a little bit of caulking, is basically complete. If the weather stays like this though, this is gonna be a lot slower, this side over here, than what was anticipated. So if it stays cold like this, he might go over to the front and start working on that because he can tent that, whereas he can't tent this. So, and I told him that he could leave the scaffolding up because it's a lot of money to put that up and down. So, I guess that's the
And to start with, it's more tearing down and salvaging what needs to salvage.
Mhm. So they use a lot of water in their process, so and we can't have water freezing inside the building, so it's, with it being unusually cold like this, it's just slowed things down a little bit.
Do you want 2 signed copies of this?
Yes, please.
Should we move Scott up?
Huh?
Should we move Scott up?
Sure, we can do that. Scott, we'll jump to you now.
Yeah, good morning. So, payroll.
What do we got going this week?
I don't have too much really. We got the last box set last week, and they're working on trying to get that project put back together. Other than that, I was hoping to have plans on the agenda for paving this week, but I'll have it next week. I'll get those sent out to you in the meantime. We got a couple of railroad crossings, one in Scarville, one in Rake, that need a little bit of maintenance work. Hopefully we can get done with Heartland Asphalt next week.
Does the railroad take care of this?
You would think. We have responsibility all the way up to the concrete panels that make up the railroad's crossing. So.
But they have an easement farther than that.
That's right. So it's very clumsy to try to do work in their right of way, even though it's our concurrent right of way. So the coordination is clunky, and it depends on the personnel we get lined up with.
I heard Scarville was having an issue with, trying to pour something underneath the railroad, and the railroad was trying to stop it.
Mm.
Or they just weren't approving it.
Could be. It seems like Neverland for approvals in the railroad.
Anything else?
Yep.
Alright. Nothing else for secondary roads. We'll go back to weed commissioners report.
Japanese knotweed, yeah.
Carla,
Right.
is the 931 about a drainage district?
I think the purple booster is going up.
Yeah, you know what, at least it's pretty, because I like pretty.
Yeah.
It's just a report what they've done, right? Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2019 weed commissioners report.
Second.
On a motion from Dury and a second from Gentle to approve the 2019 weed commissioners report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consider for approval cost advisory services report.
I emailed this out to you.
Yep. Get a chance to get through part of it anyways.
I need 2 signed copies and then there's letters for you guys.
It's not a secret.
I'll vote to approve it as long as we can revisit it if I feel have to. Yeah, I'm not. guys into this?
Roger Sterler with Cost Advisory Services.
This is required to have any funding from DHS.
It helps us give back our money that they spend basically in our county.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion. On a motion from Stenzer and a second from Derby to approve the cost advisory services report. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
It is in our email.
Yes.
Yeah, it was emailed to us last week.
Okay. Just want to see it. Okay, sorry.
Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
It's a letter to them, that's for us support.
No, yeah, you want to keep those you can. Otherwise I'll put it in the file. Jerry, if you want to just sign, I can fill out the rest of it for you.
That's the start of the day. I rewrapped this morning. Let's see.
I must be hyper, I already know, I'm with you guys here.
Yeah. Let's keep Chris in here.
75. No.
This is Chris.
We're ready for you.
Okay, thank you.
So that thing is just ahead.
Oh,
It is moving. Morning, Rick.
Morning. Hi, Terry.
we actually thought it was like 9:30.
Morning.
So the clock was.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got drainage to discuss.
I thought, wow, that's early. Here's that heavy cord, the tree removal for 11 Lower Main. I didn't realize they were accepted by, so if you could just sign it, you approved it last week. That's it. I'll make sure they'll get that back.
What else do you have for drainage?
Roger Oling called. He's in Logan 15. And did he talk to you, Mike? Okay. He would like a new tile put in beside the old. And the old is too shallow, and with all the heavy equipment, it just keeps breaking down. I don't know what you guys want to do with that.
Just used the Minji, yeah.
Yeah, yep. So I don't know what you guys want to do with that.
I suppose we'll have to explore it.
Is that improvement?
Well, it would be if it's going lower.
Well,
Well, it depends on the original.
same, yeah, technically, you're right, but they look at it as if you increase the flow.
Yeah.
So if it's the same size as
Right.
slope, even though it's lower, it's justifiable to
If
say.
the other one's in a constant state of disrepair, then you should be
Yeah.
able to.
You can repair by replacement, as
Yeah.
long as it doesn't increase the capacity.
Right. So,
So is this, let's see.
I think DD 98 is what I was guessing,
Oh, as far
because
as
he's
north,
not exactly sure where he's at.
You know what part of his farm is?
Nope,
No. 'Cause
nope.
He's got the, I should look at the plat, but I think he has the southwest quarter.
Yes,
And so that'd be actually 65.
Okay,
Is 65 one of ours?
yeah, he didn't know for sure and I didn't know where he was, so. I was just guessing.
you know who farms it? You got his number,
Yeah, I do.
you call him and see who farms it and ask him what he thinks.
So it's 120 acres.
Yeah, we've done quite a few repairs on that. Gary's been out there twice.
So you think it's 65 then?
Well, it could be to the north portion of the 240s in the north end goes north, and the south part goes south, so.
So we don't know if it's 98 or 65.
And if it was 65, it'd be lat 1C maybe. That kind of goes around his house, comes from the road north of his grove and probably comes down, crosses the blacktop.
So I didn't know if you wanted to have a contractor go look at it, or if you just want to call him, or you, I think it's in your district, or, no, it's in yours, okay. It's completely up to you guys.
I'll call Gary first, because he's been out there twice in the last
Okay,
6 years.
okay, all right, and then let me know what you think, okay.
Anything else?
On the Petticord thing, we've talked to them, the tree people, and they had a planning meeting yesterday to try and figure out their scheduling. They want to get in there yet this fall and
This
work.
is DD 11
Yeah,
lower end.
Yes,
Tree.
yeah, yep. They figure they'll work as long as they can into the winter, but they figure they won't get it done because of the conditions won't allow. But they want to get a start. A lot of us want to see that operation too. And then finish it in the spring. So anything more we can tell you about, we will.
And were you saying that the DD1 touch-ups and seeding?
Yeah, we've met with Lakeside, the seeding company. Impressed with those people, by the way. Very good, really know their stuff. And about 90% of what's out there can be fixed with hydroseeding, but they're getting an estimate together on costs. We'll still have to do 2 major ones in the spring, but the seeding will cover a lot. There's places where there's just a bare spot along the ditch. There's places where it's in the bottom 5 feet. There's places that it goes up all the way. We've got all that summarized and met with them. But then in the next few days, they're going to get a cost estimate together. And we'll have to see where that comes in. It may fall in that 50 to 100,000 where you have to have a hearing on it. But we'll get information from them.
That much of it,
There's so much. It's scary.
those years.
Oh, everywhere. Ditches that weren't touched are a mess. So, yeah, we'll get that number and then we'll talk about that some more with you, how to handle that. DD 11 improvements, while we're on 11, we're waiting on wetland determinations. Some of those are going to take a little while yet, apparently. because of ownership and things, that it takes a while to get the request made, and then it takes a while to get the determination. We got several right away. This timing's gonna work out fine, though. We'll figure to probably let it in January or February, which would be the absolute best time for prices anyway. So, could easily save 10 or 20% by timing on the bid. So, and then we'll have the lower part cleared, so we can work with that too.
So hopefully that'll set some of the people that are located below the work.
Yes. I think it's going to look so different just clearing that area out. Yeah, it's just going to open things up. And then we can get some more information as far as where we could possibly do some straightening. It turns out DNR is going to be the issue more than the Corps. We actually got permission last week to clean trees out of a river, West Fork of the Des Moines River, by the Corps. I'm shocked. We were all shocked, but it's not considered waters of the U.S., WOS.
That got changed.
Yeah, that got changed. So, yeah, so we'll have to work with DNR as far as what we can do down there.
I'm trying to figure out what's their connection to it then.
Just, they have a say over any straightening or work in channels. Doesn't have to be waters of the U.S., and they still have.
Through EPA then, or?
I think it'll all be through DNR.
But DNR has an EPA division. I
Well,
was wondering if it's that division that.
I couldn't tell you, I
Good
guess.
drainage ditches?
Yeah. We had one in Dickinson County where we got approval from the Corps to do some cleaning, and it was a natural stream, and then DNR came back and denied it, so the Corps withdrew their permit. So,
Oh, so it has to be natural.
yeah, that's,
Not one we've done.
right, you can, yeah,
And that's
good
what
point.
the lower 11 is, it's
Yeah.
a natural.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, good point, though, yes.
And then I know DNR kind of wrote the rules on when we replaced that bridge at the end of the DD11 lower. Yeah, we could do it a certain time of year because of, what was it, turtles or
Something.
frogs or something?
Something.
Yeah,
They had to do it this, like November and December.
yeah, short window.
Okay.
Yeah, we had one in Emmett County delayed a year because a summer worker for DNR thought they saw a red-sided Days minnow. And they weren't extinct, close to extinct, they just never had seen one that far north. It's just like, okay, whatever you say, I guess we have to do. We're working on several reclassifications this winter. 18 joint Winnebago-Kosciuszko 68-136. We're doing DD 48, DD 29, DD 84, and DD 102 is joint with Minnesota. So, we'll be seeing some of that later this winter into the spring.
There was another one the other day, I can't remember. Oh, when I was talking to Riley Lewis, this ditch clean out over here, we were talking about Twister Creek that it dumps into.
Okay.
We were talking about, should we be looking into annexing Twister Creek into it to make sure the outlet is good enough to take it? 'Cause it sounds like, you know, it comes like this, and Twister Creek kind of goes like this, or it dumps in is one thing, but it's another thing, this is kind of getting bad too, so.
Yeah.
We may have to inspect that when the crops are out. You know, go out there with them and look at that and talk to some landowners and see what their interest is.
Yeah, okay.
One thing I was gonna look on here,
No. So then you gotta figure out how far you wanna go to annex it in.
Right. It goes behind the 3 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some, down at the bottom, there may be some tree removal that has to be done before it gets to the river. Not a long distance, but
Just goes right through the Gene Felds.
just kind of like a shadow canal. So, keep that in mind. So I can go out there with it. That's all I had, I guess. Do you have anything else for drainage?
Nothing.
Oh, what was the one over by Rice Lake? Did you determine, you were, I guess I was in your office when somebody called on that one by
Yeah,
Rice Lake.
Paul.
Oh, Paul Tenold. Yeah, there's an open ditch, and we have it labeled as a tile. So I got Sue to change that on the beacon,
All right,
so it shows up.
County line?
No, it comes down from
Yeah,
here,
lower it is.
and then it goes over. So it's still in our county, and then it only ends up at like halfway through. So,
But he had an issue too, right?
yeah, so he was gonna call
Rottenness.
Rognus, yep. Because they're already doing some things privately for him, so he was gonna see if they just wanted to do that too. So,
all right.
Did he say what it was, the issue?
just needed to be cleaned.
That's a beaver magnet, that.
I think somebody else had just taken out some beaver dams.
So which part of, like on this map here?
It's lat 10.
Oh,
It'd
okay.
be right
That's
on
open
the
ditch.
south of the
Yeah.
dam.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look on Beacon, you can tell it's water.
Excuse me.
So we have fixed that. And the tile had it going all the way over to the county line, but the ditch ends only halfway over. So there isn't a tile.
All right, anything else for drainage? Okay, just a few minutes until the 9:30 one. We'll go to open forum. Signature.
Yep.
Is there anybody that has anything for open forum today? That's, I don't think that's too controversial. 13, consider for approval law enforcement contract with the city of Buffalo Center. So this is the one that they're looking to hire still.
Yep, so far, we're gonna reevaluate at the end of these 3 months. So, but they approved it at the council meeting on Friday morning.
I'll make a motion to approve the law enforcement contract for the city of Buffalo Center.
Second?
Got a motion from Jen Vogt, second from Stenzer to approve the law enforcement contract with the city of Buffalo Center. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 8:30, so Ron Peterson, landowner, to discuss with possible action drainage project. Morning, Ron.
Morning. What I'm looking at is putting a private tile in across from DD1 into DD3 or Subdistrict 4. Look into that Subdistrict 4, about a half a mile over to it. You want this map here?
Yeah, we've got it here. Yeah, this one right here. So this is his land here. So this purple part is what's going south. So almost a 40-acre tract that's going south right now.
Right.
You're gonna try and drain that to the west.
West. We've been going, it's going to be 2 other people with me on this tile, I think. We're still in the process of this, gotta get this paperwork done.
I had a question. So you're gonna tile to the west and they're gonna tile south. Are you gonna go all the way to the open ditch?
No, there's a, see.
That lateral 3?
That lateral, 3, yeah,
I
Okay.
sure checked the size of that,
18, I guess.
okay,
We just wanna make sure that we don't overload that.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's an 18,
Yeah.
Says
Okay.
60.
16?
I got a question on that then. Do we treat all people that likes pattern tile? Do we check that before we, the overload process?
not really in the sense that if they're in the district, they have the right to do whatever they want for pattern tiling. And because of difficulties on records, I think the code covers it that way, because how do you know for sure that they pattern tiled or they didn't if it was done 20 years ago? So we size things as if everybody pattern tiles. When we say 1/2 inch or 1 inch drainage coefficient, that's if everybody has it tiled.
So what makes this so different that we'd have to check?
I wanted him to come in and tell you because he's gonna be leaving, you know, part of his
Watershed.
watershed is gonna go to a different district, and I wanted to make sure that that was in our drainage minutes
Okay.
and that you knew what he was doing, and, we just reclassified District 1 and District 3.
I was gonna say, we did it a little too soon.
So he's gonna have to maybe cover the brunt of this cost because we just did it. So what'll happen is he will be lower in DD1, but then he'll be in DD3 that he wasn't before. So yeah, I
Should
told
be a
him
wash
privately
in a
he
sense.
needs to, make sure there's an agreement with that other landowner as to who takes care of it, but that's all privately. And I just wanted to make sure that they knew that they shouldn't overload that, but they can do whatever they want.
What do you mean by brunt of cost?
The reclass, because that should be you for changing this after we just reclassified it.
What do you think, Rich?
Well, our part of it won't be too much, because the way it's all set up in the formulas on the recycling, we just would adjust the benefit points in like those 3 parcels. But we'd also have to do it to be sure everything was covered, because technically you're adding acres to what goes into DD3. So those have to be adjusted too. You're gonna have time involved too.
I won't charge my time.
Okay.
No, that's fine. I won't send you a bill. But to be done right, it all has to be redone, because that makes what everybody else is more next time. And in 3, they're all gonna go down, because you're getting in there too. So I have to go in and change every single parcel that's in these districts because of this. But
Yeah,
I'll do that for free.
Thank you.
I think I'd said for the annexation report, $1,200 to $1,300, I believe. The reclass part of it should be less than that. So you might be looking at a total of something over $2,000, $2,000 to 2,500 total. For all the, for the reclass, the annexation, changing the reports, all of that.
So then will he not be in that district like he was?
He'll be in it, but the benefit will be greatly reduced. Probably would
Very
typically,
small bill.
right, like probably the minimum each time unless something is really drastic. So it'd be $5 a parcel. The drainage attorneys we've worked with say, most of them say you can't get out of a district, but you can reduce the benefits to minimum.
Does that make sense?
I guess, I mean, you could do something here.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you guys all okay with that?
Just curious, is it Alan Olson that owns the land to the south?
No, it's Eric Amberson and Sprecher's Farms are one. We're going into the one tile.
But the one south of you, is that, who owns that one?
Marjorie Mullen and Sharon Johnson.
Okay, just that little area that's really wet there?
Well, it's both pieces on both of those landowners. So by doing this, will that help them at all?
They get, well, their water can run north, I guess.
I mean, I don't know this answer.
Well, it
That's
depends
not
on
I mean, if it works, I'd be glad to be able to go together with them, but what's the question, answer there? Water
You gotta
going
make sure
north.
if you're adding acres to your project, then you gotta make sure the sizing is accordingly.
You'll have to change, yeah.
I just wondered, I
We
don't have to.
You wouldn't have to by law, would you? You just should.
That's But they'll have
Because it's
better
a
benefit. The ones
Right,
to the
I
south will
realize
have-
that, but I mean,
But I mean, just naturally, the ones to the south should have better benefit
Right.
if it's an operating tile.
right.
True.
There's
Yeah.
less acres on that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's what I was wondering.
So will you wait till the work is done and then reclass when you can see how everything's working? Or
Well,
do you,
we'd want to see the sizes of the tile and things that they're putting in. No,
That was
it
my
could be
question.
done.
Do we have any say over that, since it's a private tile?
Not really.
I guess they're talking 10 to 12
Okay.
coming out of mine.
And then it's where it hooks onto the 16 or whatever it is, it's a real short distance to the ditch then.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, very short.
Curious if it'd be.
I got an 8-inch in the farm, so I'm guessing a 10 or 12 should handle anything that's gonna come out of there.
So back to Carla's question, will you wait until after to do all the reclass?
Well, we could go forward with it this winter. I mean, you're not hoping to get that done this fall yet?
Can't get nobody to do it.
No, that's what I figured. Everybody,
I think I'd rather wait till it's done to make sure that it did
it
get done.
happens.
Yeah,
Sure,
because if you decide to wait a couple years, then we've reclassified it for no reason.
true. Good point.
So,
That's a good idea.
yeah, I would
We got
wait.
2 other people here to
Mm-hmm.
do this.
That's a really good point.
So for us, there's really no actionable item right now.
Right.
Say, decide to go on my own, then I gotta do something, right?
Yeah, you still need to do the annexation and reclass adjustments.
So when you decide to do anything, make sure you get ahold of Rick.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't care.
This is just informational for me. Why does he need approval from any of us since it's a private and he's got the other 2 farmers' consent?
Because he's actually changing districts with part of the land. It used to go in south to DD1, ended up in DD1, and then now it's gonna go west and end up in DD3. So it's,
Right?
that's the change. The actual work he's doing, yeah, sizing and all that, you really don't have a say, but you do have a say in the annexation.
What would happen if we didn't annex it?
He wouldn't be allowed to do it,
Wouldn't be allowed to do it.
no.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Well, how will this change the flow of the existing tile now if he goes off to the west?
That's so far down from the,
That's,
from the other, from what is existing right now. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's gonna push that right through, isn't it?
It should, and with it going south now, it will improve
Right.
the capacity of the one to the south,
Yeah.
because you're taking flow off of it.
Taking 48 hours off that.
Yes. Yeah,
So the people that are currently in the district should be happy that.
yes,
some of it will be off.
yes,
Still doesn't fix the problem that might still be there.
right, yes,
along
You're
that
correct.
road. I still think there's probably problems along that road.
now how can it be in water popping up in the tile down the ditch? Did last week again.
We will find out.
Did we clean that whole thing when you went in there and cleaned it? The last time, that tile that comes straight down from Ron's along the side of the grove, and did that whole thing get,
No, I think they just worked on the south part of the
I think
grove.
they only kind of spot,
The part I saw was just.
No, they didn't spot. They went up the grove for about 200 feet maybe and they quit.
They found roots in that.
Yeah.
Replaced it. So it's
so
probably.
if that isn't working very well anymore, which it's not, and we found roots in it and that sort of thing, is that an option for having,
a repair.
well, repair or a whole new line that's not an improvement also?
Well, the one thing we talked about once was doing a parallel tile more farther away from the.
Yep.
Leaving
grove.
the other one there to draw the roots. And then,
Yeah,
Put
leave
the
the
other one
old one
around it.
existing and do another one farther out.
and you're not improving the flow necessarily because you're just doing a parallel one that ties into the same thing.
that would be a repair by replacement you could do.
So,
Do we have enough feet to do that from the goal? Without affecting grade?
It should, yeah,
I
it's
heard-
kind of
I
a,
heard the slope out.
it's kind of a, be a gradual shift over, I think, so the actual length you add wouldn't be that much. The actual footage of
If
pipe,
we replace it, that, you'd want a perforated tile there. So are we just pushing the can down the road another 25 years?
you'd want to be far enough away.
It will.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's wet right there. I mean, if there's an area you can go with non-perforated, that'd be the way to go and not hurt the drainage.
Oh, okay.
Well, you got an intake right in the grove.
And the wetness is right north of the grove,
Yeah,
not necessarily west of that grove.
Okay.
so we
Well,
can, we can start south of the grove, go around it with a solid
Yeah,
non-perf and hook into the north.
yes. I think that'd be the way to go.
Still doesn't stop the roots from getting into the joints, but
Right.
it'd be fewer places.
Minimize it though completely, yeah.
I think originally it was just poor placement
Yeah.
of the original.
Well, the tile might have been there before the grove.
Well,
Some of
and the-
these,
And the grove is not like an existing big oak grove, it's
Right.
kind of a scrubby
Yeah.
box elder grove.
well, it's a good
So
chance
it's
that,
not that old, probably.
good chance the tile was there first.
So then, would you just want to come over and sign a petition to make sure that gets started after the meeting? Because if there's no petition, nothing will get done, so we need to make sure there's a petition.
Might want to talk to Sharon about
Make a
that.
couple, I'll make a couple phone calls first.
Okay, perfect.
All right, here's, I'll throw another monkey wrench in the question. If we can find out if the tile was there first, it's up to the people that own the trees to dig, right?
That's kind of a gray area.
I mean, they're not on the tile, they're
They're
offset.
offset, yeah.
Because we've already done that 2 times, that I know at least once up in Norway Township.
They were mostly right on top.
Right.
So it wasn't intentional.
Right, right.
And this isn't either, I'm sure.
This is 20 feet out is that tile that comes from the, along there. When I was out there, when they had checked it,
Yeah.
dug it up, that was about 20 feet out from it.
And that's, now is too close to tile with it. The roots definitely find their way. It's just amazing. I guess I'd compare it to like if somebody lets trees grow up on a dredge ditch and you're doing a clean out, the district usually pays to remove the trees.
Just proximity to the trees might help just to move it out
Yes, yes, absolutely.
and make it solid.
Yeah,
You can leave the other one there for the perforated part.
yep. So it can take what it can, yeah, but you get the main flow into a good system.
Well, so there's nothing we need to do for you right now then, right?
I guess not, I mean,
Right.
what other paper I gotta get done?
Yeah, if you just get your agreement worked out and, yeah, things sized, so I can just see the sizes. We won't be, if I had any suggestions, I'll tell you, but it'll be your project.
Okay. So that's it for that.
So if I could get a tiler accidentally, I could start tiling without any more paperwork then?
I would say so, as long as it's on record here that they're
Of your intent.
of your intent for annexation.
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
I've
very
talked-
hard.
I've talked to two of them and they never get it this one.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing too, and if anything, they're adding more to what they're having people do, so they're getting further behind.
I wonder how Larson Contracting would look at that. It's a bigger tile.
Yes,
It
yes,
has to be done by Hope, they might be able to do it. They've been one of our better bidders on our ditch projects.
yeah, they've been really good. They're good to work with.
It might be a time of year where they're looking for something for Hope to do.
Do they do tiling? I didn't know that.
Well, it's just digging in.
Yeah.
They do infrastructure in cities,
Right.
Yeah, so,
so they've got the talent and equipment to do it.
that'd be worth a call. I mean, yeah, we've sure been happy with their work on anything we've been involved in.
Once you get water to go downhill, it's all.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Number 9, discussion with possible action, workforce development, CEO, and attending meetings. I went to the workforce development meeting, the current head of the old district, Corey Everly called me, wanted to know if I could go. And so I went down to Waterloo, and the way I understood it, 5 years ago, the federal government changed the rules for how workforce development works, and they're primarily the chief funding agent for all of the workforce development. Iowa never really did anything with the way they do business and got reprimanded by the feds on this, and they're finally starting to put forward an effort to create CEOs for each county. So the CEO would be the chief elected officer, and that could either be the chair or their designee. So it's pretty much like what we're doing now, where we appoint somebody on a committee. The problem is with the new rules, you have to attend the meetings, otherwise the people in our service area of our county could lose their ability to use the workforce development services. So we want to make sure that we have somebody attending their meetings. They're in the stage right now, development of the Region 2, which will be Dubuque to us, or the two corners diagonally, and it goes to Al McKee and kind of Franklin would be the southwest. 20 counties, so right away I'm looking at it, well, got to make sure we get, when we do the agreement, we don't get hung out to dry like we did on our other regional 22 county one. So they have, in here, they have a boilerplate one to look at. I guess for this discussion, I guess I wanted to know, there's another meeting on Thursday at noon, in Mason City on the more local regional. I was wondering if I need to, as the alternate, go to that, or if you can go to that, or,
I plan on going, but
okay.
if we're gonna make the chair.
Well, I didn't say that we were
No.
going to make the chair, I just said,
Right.
the rules say the chair or its designee.
Right. So, we probably should decide that first, right?
Right. That's why I put it on the agenda
Yeah.
this way, so we can, because I think next week we should probably discuss what the agreement's gonna look like. Or the next meeting, they actually scheduled the next meeting at the same time as our district supervisor meeting.
I've
There's
missed,
no way they can have that meeting.
I've missed the last two meetings, so
Yeah.
we're just the last one.
They had one down in Waterloo in October, I think in September sometime. And they had 7 supervisors there. So this time there was 11, so we're gaining on it. We're hoping to have everybody there next time, so everybody has an input. So they're gonna have to elect a Clio, which is the chief leading elected officer. So up the head of the 20 county region would be the Clio. And nobody's jumping up and down trying to get that job because it's a non-paying position. There's no funds. That's the other strange thing about this. We're almost required to have a lot of effort put forward ahead of time. And there's a mechanism to where you can hire clerical, but yet there's no funding until the 1st of July. So we're supposed to get all our ducks in a row without any funding. They're looking at a state grant possibility to help, fill that void, because all the regions are struggling with this. By January, we're supposed to have our agreements in place, and I would hope next week or in December meeting when they meet that the leader, the Clio, would be elected then. Like I said, nobody was jumping up and down for it. They talked about a railroad. Yeah, the volunteer toll. So we're looking at who wasn't there the other day.
I'll gotta stay with it, but keep in mind, it'll only be for 10 months.
Yeah. The other thing is, much like the mental health region, they'll need to be a fiscal agent. So they're looking at a county being a fiscal agent for the group. And all they do is approve the bills. They aren't going to be an employer of record of anybody. They'll just be paying the bills. They also look at the Clio as possibly being connected to that county. So it may be a rotating thing. We haven't set that up yet. Some of the preference said, no, maybe just you have a 2-year term. It rotates from county to county every 2 years or something. So that moves around.
Spread that, that'd be the most fair side.
And that's how we did the child support recovery for a lot of years, is that it just went from county to county.
And
Not
since,
worked
and
to
since
county.
you're not employing people like with mental health,
You're
you're employing.
gonna get $10 a check?
Well,
What's that worth?
so it sounds like there's
$11 a check. And is that CSS? Yeah.
so there's not a lot of checks the way it sounds.
Registration?
Not a lot of checks. There's, of the $1.3 million estimate for the region, 10% goes to administration, but only a portion of that goes to the fiscal aid. So, haven't really got the details on that.
Have you ever seen any results? I have never seen any results as far as,
There's some,
is this,
some papers in the.
And you?
Your
Well, there's people that get, scholarships to get retrained.
yeah,
They do a lot of that. That's where some of this funding's going. the problem they had was there was a certain technical college over that direction that was the service provider and the fiscal agent. That was a serious federal no. So that's why we're redoing things and separating those things.
Well, I'll go along with what you guys want. So just keep the money.
That's something you're interested in doing. I was the alternate, and you're welcome to do it if you want.
I feel I can do that.
Yeah, well, tell them.
I can do it for them.
You do it to them and then we can pass it back on.
Just a,
Kind of like what Roger did to Don Ross, the 3 CSS, as soon as he got elected.
Well, I guess if you're willing to stay on, as long as you communicate with me whether you can go or not. We just want to make sure somebody is there all the time.
I think everything's, it better be there.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I've attended 3 of your meetings in the last month here, so it's been a little challenging.
thank you.
All right, well, until we, was there anything else you know we should have discussed on this? No, it was mostly just the CEO part of it. Hopefully, I told him, even as the alternate, it'd be nice if I was on the mailing list, so at least I knew ahead of time when the meeting was.
well, that's the other thing we talked about on, Friday when we were in, is that if, you know, if they would put me on these mailing lists so that I can make sure that you guys get these agendas and stuff. 'Cause,
Instead of the alternate, you know.
well, yeah, so that, for both, I don't know, I just think,
Because technically, it's an appointed position on a committee, it should be posted out here as a committee meeting, or board meeting.
mhm,
That's the other thing that we'll be discussing in this agreement. You have the choice of making this board an official board, or there's another term they used,
committee.
just a committee that makes all these approvals, and then you wouldn't have to necessarily post everything. But I think most of the supervisors were in agreement that they thought it should be an official board that we're held accountable to. Because in this thing, if there's improper or unapproved expenditures, all the counties are held accountable for the cost that the federal government won't reimburse. So there's a liability in this for us. We're not saying necessarily improper, that they just might not have done the paperwork quite right or something, you know. Just didn't look, just like with all the other DHS funding and stuff, they're always throwing something, you know, they're always throwing out things for little things or for no reason at all. Might get that point on the federal level.
That could get real sticky because at present, even with the only 7 supervisors, there's about 3 that just sit there and haven't.
On the small regions.
Yeah. And I'm not sure they research any of this stuff.
And one of the questions Corey brought up was, if you're gonna hold people accountable and liable, is it per capita?
Yeah,
Seems like it should be. So if you're gonna negotiate that term, all the small counties are gonna wanna be per capita.
Yeah.
For liability. All right. Well, I guess that's it from this week. So we could send them a link to, or do we want to print a copy of this for them too, or did you ever get a copy of this, Mike?
no,
Okay,
Should I make a print copy?
for each of them so they understand what's going on.
Yep.
One of them is just training for the CEOs, another one is the rules of the WIOA or whatever, federal rules.
I hate to ask you, are you busy Thursday at noon?
I could probably do it.
I got another doctor's appointment.
That's fine.
Okay,
My doctor's not till Monday, so.
okay, thanks.
I don't have to go to the doctor.
Oh, you wanna go? That's why I keep trying to get you in there.
I gotta drive to Iowa City.
Oh, wonderful.
Alright. Yeah, I'll attend up.
Thank you.
Cause I've never been to one of those, I'm curious to see what
Okay.
a small group looks like.
Interesting.
Yeah, I learned a lot at the last one. Alright, consider for approval county claim.
In that pile.
Hi, Shane.
Were they sent out?
Yeah?
Okay, I missed it.
There's some last minute health insurance bills that I wanted to make sure got
That's the
paid.
end of the month ones.
Mhm.
Almost there, right?
Northville. No, yeah, 3 spots.
Instead of wasting, not wasting. Since they're all here, should we just go through number 15?
Well, let's do 14 first probably, that will receive.
Okay.
We'll move down to number 14, discussion with possible action to hire to replace Gene Lambert in the auditor's office. You had some questions for us on that.
Well, I had told you that I wouldn't replace Jane for a year, and it's been a year and a half, and, things are going okay in the office, but we don't have the time to do a lot of things that need to be done. And,
How could they be okay then?
well,
Getting by as good as possible.
They're all
we're
still
getting
alive.
by. It's just, it's been a struggle. So, I would like permission to, hire probably, I'd like to put the ad in the paper next week, if possible,
Hold on,
full time.
what would that be how would you classify the job?
So, with Chris going to be starting to do, basically I'm changing every position in my office. Chelsea would be more human resources, Chris would be more drainage, this person would be more elections and real estate. So everything would be changing a little bit.
And they all overlap then.
Yep, everybody will be cross-trained, and we are now to an extent, but it would just help things.
No problem.
The other part of this is I will need a budget amendment in the spring when we do our budget amendment for this position.
What's your thoughts, Bill?
I guess. It would make Jane feel better. She did do something. I've talked to Carla about this before, and it's probably,
One question. Since you said things are going okay, would it be possible to get by with part-time?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We've kind of been through that before where
Yeah.
it's
hard to
get
find.
the real people you really want out there in part-time. You're pretty fortunate if you did find the right person.
You're a hospital, you know.
Okay.
I had the same question.
You're looking at the next month or so, hoping to have somebody.
Probably by December, I would guess.
You need
I make a motion to, approve the hiring to replace Jane Langrude with the necessity of budget. I'm blanking.
well, the budget amendment would be.
Budget amendment.
We don't worry about that yet.
But the need of a budget amendment, so. You can scratch that.
I'll second the motion. Motion from Sender and a second from Derby to hire to replace Jane Langford in the auditor's office. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Are you gonna be in the field more now?
So more of your salary will be probably paid for through drainage, through the inspection process and working with the contractors.
I know we're short on money. And I think you all know me, I'm extremely conservative, but, well, you know what, I'll just say it, the informative, go back to the open forum. We should look at a drone.
You have to be licensed to fly it too.
Yeah, that's nothing, I guess. It would help you out a lot.
Well, doesn't Rick have one?
Yeah, they brought it up.
Yeah,
Oh,
they do.
okay.
Yeah, we've seen videos of it.
Oh,
It's just if we don't have a engineer involved,
yeah.
then
Right.
DNR brought theirs that one day out there too, so that we had competing drones in the same spot.
My
You have to have an air
farm
traffic
running
controller.
Rick's got one, he got a nice one.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, it saves a lot of walking,
Right.
a lot of
No,
walking.
I don't wanna do that.
Okay, that's something I'll go with.
We'll move on to 15, budget discussion, whether the department has some goals for the next fiscal year.
I've got the budget printed out, just waiting to talk to you guys before I send it out. Usually send a letter with it, and basically this year I was just gonna put on, like, what the IFRS amount is, which they haven't changed it yet, so it might change a little bit. Insurance is gonna go up, I have a pretty good feeling. We are at like 150% of our claims, and they want us at 80%. So I know that it's gonna go up this year. I talked to the insurance companies about, finding some other options to help reduce the cost, maybe a higher deductible, maybe two options, maybe a lower deductible, a higher deductible that the county would pay for, and a lower deductible that the person could buy into if they wanted that kind of a thing. We've also talked about maybe partial self-fund, looking at that again. So I'm having them look at some options for us so that it doesn't increase too substantially. But I also wanted to know what you guys wanted me to put in, if there's any messages you want to get to the department heads through this letter.
I'll just say this, from the people I've talked to, they're in sticker shock the way the taxes have gone up the last 2 years. And, so I think we better do our best to,
Keep it down.
yes. I mean, they're in sticker shock.
I guess in looking at, trying to figure out what the cost of living increases are. Haven't really heard much lately what the numbers are. Some things are lower, some things are higher. Mostly the medical field is up. Everything's cost.
Anywhere from 2 to 4%. Mostly towards the 4.
The number I saw was 2.8%. I don't know if that
What's Iowa's cost of living in 2019?
Yeah, they have a connection.
Iowa's
Yeah, I think it comes up for.
Cost of living increased, which is,
Oh, yeah. It just popped up. What's the cost of living increase in the state of Iowa for 2019? Well, salary of 12,000 in Des Moines, Iowa should increase to 14,095.
we got up there.
See it. Chris, you wanna hit the light side? Thank you.
Yeah, 2.8.
Percent average.
So 2019 is at 1.8. Third quarter growth, annual is at 2.1.
You know what our, levies, are we showing any increase in, valuations from the ITC towers yet? That's all done through utilities.
Yeah,
That's hard to tell.
I'm not sure. I haven't started the valuation process yet, and I will probably start that early December, late November, when the state starts getting me all that information that I need.
I don't wanna levy according to how people's home value went up. I wanna, I'd rather look at, do we have additional, ITC lines are worth a lot of money. There's gotta be some tax value in them without burning everybody else.
Mhm.
They're on a different schedule as far as how they're taxed. I mean, they're not even in our levy process.
They're a different part of the
Yeah.
process. They're
Under
separate.
utilities.
Yeah. They go by miles versus value, and so then they attach a rate to the miles and
Turbines won't be for a couple more years to get just a 20% of them. And it works up for another 5 years after that. So it takes a while.
It gets solar in 2028, 27,
like 10 more years.
27. That would be a huge help. Assuming they're still running.
Except for by then all the blacktouts will be replaced again.
Well, not this time.
Do you feel like start figuring out how to do that one at a time?
Do you feel like we're sitting better as a whole than we were a year or two ago?
Oh, definitely.
Cash,
Yes.
but we have to borrow money to repair the courthouse.
Our fund balances are good, but we have additional expenditures.
Still got to pay for it over years. So we kick the costs down the road a ways, hopefully the values come in from the new projects.
Yeah.
The operating budget for the jail killed us.
That's gonna be the interesting this year. We'll actually see some actual numbers, how things came in for that full year. Last year, we really didn't have a lot to go on.
Well, and the jail's gonna have to hire, Rick is gonna be resigning in January, so they're gonna have to hire a full-time jail administrator, so there's gonna be some salaries there that, well, he was part-time but worked full-time hours, so, I mean, basically, they're hiring the position that they should have had all along.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see their numbers on cash flow.
Mhm. Well, and if Buffalo Center, after this 3 months, if Buffalo Center signs a contract with us full-time, we're probably gonna need another deputy because basically, one of the deputies is gonna have to be in Buffalo Center basically all the time.
So that amount was, refresh my memory, that was 29,000.
For what?
The number that was that per month or for the contract in Buffalo Center?
Sorry. So it's $2,929 per month.
Okay, so $3,000. So it doesn't pay for a whole for the debt,
It doesn't pay for a whole nother deputy.
but it might be able to help with our scheduling a little bit. We've always been short on.
Well, we've got guys that work.
If we don't contract with Buffalo, what do we need? An extra deputy?
The problem is Buffalo Center, We're going- yeah, and we're going over there for about 320 calls a month.
Right, I know that. But
They're not getting paid for it.
I don't wanna step on your toes. If we, and we have to go, correct?
Well, technically, we don't have to go if there's not a contract. They go,
They do all the time.
but they do.
Because they also help cover us.
Right. So
Up until now.
is Buffalo abandoning the town cop?
No, they just haven't
They
found
can't
it.
find one.
Can't find one yet. One guy decided to do it, and then he changed his mind for whatever reason.
So it's possible we hire a new deputy for that and then Buffalo hires him.
We're not hiring someone until we get a full commitment from Buffalo Center.
Okay.
You know, do those numbers reflect the same cost of the other cities per capita?
Yes.
Okay, that's the way to go.
Yep.
So we know what that number would be if we were
Yes.
on a permanent basis.
Yep.
Well, and unfortunately, if you're creating demand for the service, the amount they spend per year should be at least what they spent on their own police officer, which I'm sure he must have been making at least 35 plus the benefit in the package, so you're talking probably $45,000-$50,000 total cost.
And that would cover about 70%. So, yeah. But then we'd have to pretty much have a designated sheriff or the deputy.
Well, you'd have to have one in close proximity all the time, yeah, which, I mean, that can be Ranger Thompson, in relatively close proximity.
We've got 2 in Thompson and or 3.
Oh, really?
Heavily. The one that was just north of my school.
But
Black, those
Oh,
are,
he lives up there.
those are just,
he lives out east of town.
okay.
I think there's only 2 of them that live there. I remember.
There was already 2 in Thompson's. You got 1 in Buffalo Center.
With the contract, in this contract, we don't have a amount of hours that we're guaranteeing, but if they would do a full-time contract for good, then there is a minimum amount of hours that we spend in Buffalo Center.
Yeah, but
I
like,
should talk to Northwood and see.
it's only like 18 hours or something like that, though.
Hey,
Seems like-
Thompson has a contract, I think, for 40 hours a week.
Is it 40 hours a week? All right, the rates must be less than that.
Northwood got rid of all their municipal, well, Northwood cops. They gone to
There's the deputies.
deputies, but
Well, but they got the courthouse right
yeah,
there.
but they contribute too, I mean,
Yeah.
to the city of Northwood, so there's many ways of skinning this guy.
We can call Jackie and see how they do it there.
How much of city taxes go into the sheriff's budget?
About 25%.
Well, None,
Yeah, there isn't any, is there?
not in the city of Buffalo Center. They
Well,
pay county
they're-
taxes that go towards that, but
Right,
yeah.
the city taxes don't.
But they're fungible, I mean, they can be put into, can't they?
They're a county.
not the city taxes, but
But
the
even
county
doing
taxes.
your county taxes.
There's about 25%. If you live in Lake Mills, 25% of your tax bill comes to the town, correct? Or is it more than that?
It's less than that, I think. But
Less
let's-
than that, my bill.
That's where the-
Because some of the center's taxes are already ended up in the sheriff's budget, indirect.
Through the county levy, yes.
So, you know, I mean, it's not like, in all the towns are that way. That's why I was surprised when I first found out that we charged to go to the cities for the sheriff's department. Because you're already contributing, so therefore, it shouldn't be that much of a burden to be there for different stuff.
Used to carry your tax bill around with you, so I'm explaining to you.
So here's the city of Lake Mills. So $7 per thousand goes towards county taxes. Then when you go over to the city here, it's $13.55 per thousand goes into the city. For a total of $35. So there's other stuff in there, but schools are the largest part.
Well, 20%.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, I guess total school is about the same as the city.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
close,
about.
it's close.
Just about.
So,
But now, the 7.587,
plus the 0.48.
but does that reflect on TIF districts?
So the TIF is included in this, but it is separated out when we do apportioning.
Right. So it's not truly the 7.5.
Right.
Because of the number of TIF districts.
Right.
So, trying to think. So when they get their tax bills, it shows 7.587 and 0.481. And they think they're paying that to the county, but the city is able to claim it then first.
Yeah, I wonder if
And in the case of Lake Mills, you've got a lot of tips.
Yeah, it's a large number of them.
yeah, most of the cities in the TIF.
But, there was established value there, it's just the tip is after a certain point.
Mhm.
Back to our letter we sent to the department heads. Do we indicate what the current, cost of living is, or do we just make an encouragement that as of our
Your operational budget excluding salaries, you think that's gonna change much?
It usually doesn't.
Probably not,
No. I mean, we need to, I mean, it's been, last couple of years, we need to be as diligent as we can to keep those down as much as possible.
last year we had to do the public meetings to educate the public on our costs and public health and everything else that went on.
How it's controlled. there are some circumstances that we've had that we're hopefully not gonna have in the future. So, and a lot of that stuff has been building to a head for decades and decades. And it just came to the point where a lot of that stuff, we just couldn't kick the ball on the road anymore.
2 items has killed us. Courthouse and the jail. The operational part. So,
And hopefully, you know, these repairs here will, hopefully we've done enough to where it'll be down the road a long time before anything like this has to be done again. Spending some,
Well, the
we talked
goal,
about making sure maintenance,
the goal is to have this building watertight.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
once we get that done, then if we have him come in every 3 to 5 years to do maintenance, and that's all we need to do for
to prevent the big
problems.
problem all at once again.
we got a
For
roof
future
that we
supervisors, but,
We got a roof that we need to take care of too.
well, yeah,
Definitely.
That's current.
yeah, unfortunately,
And that's part of it, getting the building watertight is getting the roof done too.
And you were saying that the roof, there was a problem here just recently.
Oh yeah, there's a hole they could stick basically their hand in the roof and,
really,
yeah,
those rotted in there or something fell from the sky.
I don't know what happened.
My guess is
I know
it's
they
in
went
that-
up,
That part that goes like this.
they went up and fixed it and it's fine, but, you know, when it's just, it needs to be done.
Well, they need to understand, I mean, everybody I thought, there wasn't one dissenter. They said, fix it, fix the whorehouse.
I would certainly hate to be the one that was in on the decision that got rid of this deal.
And once the outside's done, the inside needs some work,
Well, it'll gradually,
gradually, yeah.
but it has such a rustic look, why change it?
You like patina.
We'll have to get by for 8 years. We'll get $2.5 million into it. I mean, there's gonna be a huge bonanza in 8 years as far as the taxpayers are concerned.
Yeah,
Once we get the projects done, we start budgeting for maintenance. Is there a way to put money each year into a fund that carries
that can
over
accumulate.
for
We can put money into like a, on the annual report in a designated spot for maintenance.
And then once we designate, it can't be touched, correct?
Right,
except for that?
except by resolution to put it in and take it out.
That's the trouble. Future supervisors.
Might take it out for other reasons.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you want to say in this letter then?
Make every effort to keep the increases in your budgets down. I mean, it just, we just have to.
I'd like to say in there, make every effort to look for any ways to cut costs. And at the very least, minimum increases.
Everybody's aware.
Yeah, I don't think we need to say that to anybody here. We're all pretty fiscally minded people, so
It's good to have it in front of you.
Well, the problem is there's more departments than the 3 of us that are
Right.
here right now, and
Yeah.
Right.
and I think that the 3 in here are pretty fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
the rest of them can hear it. Then, hopefully be on the right page.
I guess you got your information then?
Yep, I'm gonna
Not on the
type
right
this up
page.
today and send out all the budgets, so.
That is, you got a good point. Bill says we okay their budgets anyway,
So
so.
if they're not on the right page, don't we okay their budgets anyway?
Yep.
So,
Some departments might not like us this year.
So here's the other thing, I would like to get the budget done sooner than what we normally do. So I'm going to put us on a pretty quick time schedule
So
of,
you want to try and convene the compensation board sooner than later too.
I sent an email out to you
Yeah,
guys.
that's already coming up here.
Yep,
The beginning of this,
December 11th.
December 11th, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
9 o'clock in the morning.
Good.
So looking forward to that.
Glad to be here. Your presence is always such a bright ray of sunshine.
Wasn't it last year?
Or is that the light off your head?
It's this new shampoo I got your hair.
Okay, well, I guess that's it for that one.
Okay, thank you.
We never did approve the county claims.
No. Yeah, we did. I made a
No,
motion.
no,
You might have, but we never finished it.
yeah, I don't think we ever
That's
got
what
to actually
right.
did it, yeah.
Get the other stuff done.
So
you made the motion?
I'll second.
Okay. Got a motion from Stensrud and a second from Jen Vogt to approve the county claims. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Payroll claim. Well, do you want to do the, consider
We
for
got
approval of
CSS,
CSS documents and funding requests?
Well, in order to, if we move our letter to the Northwest Care, we gotta be member in good standing, so, I'll make a motion to approve the CSS documents and funding request.
I'll second the motion.
And we had a interesting meeting.
So, my other question is, we have,
So,
Some of the, I believe some of the counties were, reducing the request. Yeah, and,
it has to do with the employer record, and that's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
questioning is, do we, I think Bobby needs to make the decision, but if she's gonna stay with us or stay with CSS, or
so she'd like to know what's gonna happen.
she'd like to know what's gonna happen.
I mean,
Well, we know
where we're gonna go.
I don't, well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Have
I
we,
guess-
do you know, do you have a timeline for when
we
Northwest?
should put a
Care?
timeline in.
But no, it's up to Northwest Care.
so listener, we've signed.
Well,
And
I was thinking more, get back to where we were at Kasuth.
The legislators, after I pointed out a whole bunch of our concerns with CSS, most of the legislators that came up to me after we had a break right after they left, because the meeting went way long, and said if they held a vote today, that they allow us to have our own region. For that, was satisfied. It's one of the things I told them, it's just, the 1.5 million we put in since 2017, we'd be lucky if we get, a third of that back to Winnebago County, that we can put up our own people in the Hilton Hotel and hire our own private psychiatrist to go around with,
Was there any discussion in legislative form on the possibility of just doing this sales tax funding instead of?
oh yeah, that was talked about.
Was there acceptance of that, or?
There was some resistance. It's easier where it is right now, but like I told them, I don't have a problem with them just putting it all on us. Just let us take care of ourselves. We do not need them. We can levy the monies and take care of our people ourselves, like we used to. And,
You know, I said it before, I'm saying we should do it
well,
and let them prove us wrong.
yes, once we get what I anticipate, a I think we stand probably maybe a 50-50 chance of acceptance over Northwest. Because they have some people that are against it, and they have some people that seem to be for it. So I assume, but after that, I think we need to grab the bull by the horns. And
At least at the next WHW.
I talked to Sandy, we gotta get a meeting together. We've lost complete and total control of who, how, and where our money is spent.
I don't know the law on it, you know, the current law that goes beyond just what we've done with CSS. But I can't imagine any judge looking at, we're only getting a third return on our money. I say.
Even if it was a half, even if
The
it
agreement
was a
says
half.
that.
Was that?
The agreement says it's allowable. That's the way we signed the agreement.
Well, we don't have to sign it again.
Well, we want out of that one.
Yeah, right.
You don't have a place to go.
Because
That's
everything,
what I'm saying, we just take the bull by the horns and just do it.
when that 2080 agreement was signed, nobody envisioned all the changes that have happened since then. So,
Which usually happens in the
That would be-
bureaucracy.
because it is, because since I've been on that board, the budget has stayed basically the same, and we're spending at least $3 million, maybe $4 million more on salaries, that money that used to go to people. And
Sad.
So, the current motion on the table was for the funding request. Any further discussion on that for CSS funding request? Motion by Gentle, second by Hendrick. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Anyway, kept up with Wolf and Hancock. Do you think they're on board with?
Worth and Kasuth, for sure.
For sure.
Hancock, I think they're waiting to see what's gonna happen.
Are they seriously disgruntled with?
No, I think if we get allowed to be able to form our own region, they will probably come with us.
But they have to give notice before November,
Well, they may not be able to do it for,
another year.
they're not gonna get notice now. But there is also out there that the notice has already been given, and that we really can't do anything else. I mean, because it was discussed at the board whether we even need to resubmit. And then I says, well, you know, and you guys don't even need to prove it, because they didn't have to approve it or accept it or whatever. We're telling them what we are gonna do, giving them notice ahead of time, and then they're, you know, they don't have a choice to accept it. It's, I don't know.
I haven't gotten the, just think of the weed commissioner report.
This is, oh, that's,
Do you want, on that second page there, you've got open to, you want that, just have my stamp that? Was there a place in the back sign? No.
I guess I got it. It's too full. No, there is.
Why would Mike Ressler have zeros for clean totals, but have 76 hours?
He's got 6, 8, 9, 5, 10.
Yeah, I know, he's got the hours, but there's no dollar claim.
Oh, that's for shift differential down there. That's different. He doesn't get shift differential because he's not part of the union.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have to
No,
stand
there was
those.
it was just one that we need to sign, so we've got that.
Get that.
There's 2 of them. Yeah, right here. I'm good. Oh, it's almost November.
Did you get those? Right.
Oh, no, I can do that.
No, over these.
Yep. Once again, Iowa workforce.
State, Iowa State.
There's something else that adds to the cost of the
CEO training.
public safety center is the fact that the place has become such a popular vacationing place.
Hopefully we'll get money for them.
It's hard to get a lot out of return up, they say.
Yeah. Do we know what percentage is from Hancock?
Hancock, well, I would
Because
say,
they have to pay.
yeah, no, that part of it, but I mean, even just our own, yeah, I mean, there's just,
But that could be ameliorated a little bit by the bench warrant. Depends on how much they want to bond. They want us to bond and bench warrants.
yeah.
So they don't necessarily all have to be in there.
I think there's plenty of them now that aren't being put in there,
Really?
from what I understand, yes.
Really?
There's a lot of wrist slapping going on. Which is a double-edged sword. You want people to pay, but you don't have to pay for the people to pay. So,
So where there's this company called Clear and Contacts. They have technology involved in the contacts, what automatically focuses for whatever you're looking at. And it's also have the capability of being telescopic like your smartphone camera.
Wow.
So it's just like back to the $6 million man thing.
focus into that one eye.
That stamp those stamp warrants that are underneath here,
Whatever, I don't have a stamp.
don't you?
Well, I had the one.
Can I ask a question real quick, guys? Looking at this state of Iowa map, what's this county right here?
Yeah, that's,
Is that Bremer or is that, no, that's, is it Grundy? No, I'm trying to think.
is there one shaped like that?
Next to Blackhawk, is it?
Yeah, that would be Blackhawk, I would
Is
guess.
that Grundy?
Counties of Iowa.
Provider shortage area.
U.S. counties frequently mentioned on the web include Iowa County, Polk
There
County,
we go.
Scott County, and others.
It's,
Is it Brian?
it looks like an upside.
Buchanan.
Buchanan.
No, sorry, Grundy.
It is Grundy.
That's Grundy, huh?
Yeah.
Evidently, there's no mental health shortage in Grundy. Other than that, all the dark blue areas right here is provided by Iowa State or Iowa University, say
It's
that
right
there's a
next
tremendous
to
shortage.
Black. Yeah, that little jag down there.
$4 million, huh? That's interesting.
For,
Salaries.
oh,
And yet, when you look at this map, there's a horrendous shortage
yeah.
in the very district we're talking about. Just out of curiosity.
Oh, I
I
should
had a
show
bunch of
you,
these.
I should show you
Which one
the
you?
email Bob
I had,
sent.
there's a big stack of these.
Well, I didn't get those through.
What's that?
I haven't seen those go through any of those, warrants.
What the heck?
Must be all you had.
Oh,
Was there very many
There's
warrants?
a stack about that.
I don't think,
There was a bunch of stamp warrants, that,
Because the claims were small and
No, I'm not sure.
yeah, maybe.
this is just an aisle.
Did she shut that thing off?
It's off. That's why I went up there and asked you. Not about to tip off another
Oh, no,
news outlet.
there's a whole bunch of it. That one's still going.
I was just curious because of the fact that as soon as I saw that map, and there's a subsequent map that follows, the tremendous amount of diversion of funds away from mental health services includes the 22 county area we're talking about.
Yeah.
However, the metropolitan areas don't seem to have any kind of shortage of funding for
I'll tell you what.
mental health services whatsoever.
Smart ass in Blackhawk County and that jackass John, whatever his name is from Winship. He apologized to those legislators about the bullshit they just had to listen to. That's what he said.
You heard him say that?
Well, no, he said it all about the meeting. Everybody's in the room, legislators in the room.
He's pretty
It
direct.
boiled me out of
Oh,
it.
you don't know how.
I was surprised you didn't get up and
You
say,
don't know.
we don't need no apology from you.
I said, yeah, it's only bullshit when you're receiving the money, when you're paying it. I mean, it's only bullshit when you're paying it. Well, it's all right for you guys to receive it all, right? Well, I tell you what, I wanted to. I'm sitting there, all right, don't start it. Because he is the kind that would get in my face with some smart ass, snarky damn stuff that would piss me off. I'm better at it than I used to be. I haven't picked anybody off their feet in a few years, but he's one of them that, I mean, outside that new blow, I would fall over. But I can't stand him already. He's been just a snarky, smart ass for years.
POSSOB.
He was just more a hammer on this is bullshit. We're subsidizing Cassuth County. We're subsidizing Winnebago County. You know, blah blah blah, because we hadn't paid our money at that point. And I says, who's subsidizing who? And then I went through who all's paying, throwing all this. I said, says we're the ones subsidizing CSS, and we're pissed off about it. I didn't say pissed off about it. I said we don't like it.
That was the smart thing to say.
We don't like it.
Second.
See you guys.
Yeah, I got yours. Oh, no, there
Oh,
it
it
is.
is up above. Not the same.
Sorry.
No, there is one. Here it is. There we go. Did you ever met that John? Did listen to him talk and get that attitude, that holier than thou. I mean, he is quite possibly the smartest man there ever was. Is that, and he is a beast. He gets stuff wrong all the time. Again, he's a genius. And it just surprising that they're spending for him. You know,
He's taking.
Well, at the district supervisor meeting, you'll have to ask them how they're doing with their recycling. At one time, they were making money with some recycling.
I think they're doing a lot more either.